Yo, as always, like, share, subscribe. Now let's just get into it. So I asked y'all to drop some more questions. Y'all did, so let's go. Let's go. Appreciate the comment. James Cooper, he said, how loud will the noise be when OSU inevitably loses to us in the fifth best SEC team and doesn't win the Natty like all their fans are saying they're a lock to? It will be glorious. It will be glorious for Michigan and whoever else doesn't like Ohio State, and I think the expectation that comes along with what rides with it to have a team that's expected to win the Natty, it's a lot. It's a lot. So they're gonna have a lot of pressure, and it's a lot of games. It's a lot of games to win. You gotta. It's a long road. But we're gonna find out. Appreciate the comment. Dependent Fanatic. He says, why wouldn't the best QBs want to play for Michigan now, Johnny? Yeah, your numbers at Michigan would be lower, but you will still get drafted top 10 like JJ because the rest of the team is awesome. Well, JJ is kind of I guess you could say it's an anomaly. And this isn't me saying this for a fact. This is just my opinion on what it could possibly be. It's somewhat of an anomaly, the fact that JJ didn't throw for a ton of yards and still went top 10. That's not the norm for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So that's part of it. The other part of it is quarterbacks want to throw. They want to showcase their talent. Nobody wants to be. If you think you're supremely talented, you don't look at Michigan and say, oh, man, I'm ready to be a game manager. You don't say that. You a top dual threat quarterback. You want to go out there and you want to run and pass for a ton of yards. You know what I'm saying? That's just what it is. You want to put up numbers so you can try to win a Heisman. You want to put up numbers so your face is everywhere because you just got crazy stats like maybe Shedeur Sanders. Yeah, Colorado was garbage, but Shedeur Sanders was everywhere, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Partly because of Deion being Deion, but, he was putting up numbers even though they were losing. You know what I'm saying? So I think most of these dudes just want to put up stats. They want to put up big-time stats and numbers, and knowing that you're going to probably be a game manager at Michigan, it can turn people off. And I honestly, I can't knock them for that somewhat, because it takes the right type of guy. It takes the right type of guy to say, I know the system we're in, and I'm going to put my stats on the back burner because of the system. We're going to blow teams out most of the time, and I'm going to throw it 15 to 20 times. You know what I'm saying? I'll have to wait for us to be in a close game against in a big game for me to showcase my talents. That's if the run game isn't dominating in that big game. If the run game is dominating, you still ain't gonna get to showcase your big time arm talent and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? So that can turn some dudes off. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? Because JJ didn't really get to showcase his arm talent like fully, really at all this year. Maybe the Michigan State game when he was in a zone, he probably could have threw for 500 yards against them the way he was locked in. Besides that, he really didn't have to. He had to make a couple throws. He had to make a few crucial throws against Ohio State and up against Bama and against Washington. A few big-time throws that he had to make, but it wasn't like a whole game where, like, man, JJ is shredding everybody. You know what I'm saying? So that can turn guys off. Appreciate the comment. Mark LaFleur. Hey, they better win it all, or they're just going to look. Oh, okay, this ain't really a question. Let's see. Daniel Chavera says, do you think it's crucial that our offense clicks and jails this year? since 2025 could be a 2014, 2020 type season, since we lose all our defense. And if our offense never gets going this season, 2025 might be a long year. Oh, yeah. The offense needs to click this year. Definitely needs to click. You know what I'm saying? It needs to click. It needs to click for a bevy of reasons, from leading into the 2025 season to help recruiting. You know what I'm saying? You need the offense, because let's say the defense is what we expect it to be this year, lights out. And let's say the offense is a struggle bus. That defense might not be able to carry us to the playoff. It might get us close, but that offense is going to have to carry some of the load. You get what I'm saying? So we don't want to come off the natty and have our offense hold us back from making the playoff. We want to make the playoff again. So to say, yeah, Michigan is still a good program. It's still that they're not rebuilding. You know what I'm saying? So you can start to get the upswing in recruiting. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely want that, because 2025 we're going to be losing a ton on defense. A ton on defense and some crucial dudes on offense, because Donovan's gone, Loveland's probably gone. You know what I'm saying? So the offense definitely needs to click this year. It definitely needs to. To me, for recruiting purposes, really. And just to not have a down year, honestly, let's be real. Appreciate the comment, Ruko. He says, what incoming freshman are you most looking forward to seeing making an impact this fall? For me, it's Jordan Marshall. Really hoping he can come in and be our number 2 back. Yeah, I think it's probably Jordan Marshall also for me too. I'm hoping he can come in and, give a spark. Whether it's Donovan, whether it's spelling Donovan, or whether it's just getting in the rotation. Now, we'll see how that goes, because Benjamin Hall and Khalil Mullins, they're pretty much ahead of him for the most part. So he's going to really have to shine in practice to get any snaps. You know what I'm saying? Or do something extremely well that the other backs don't do. But as far as the incoming freshman, he's probably the one I'm looking for to do something. Jaden Davis probably ain't gonna play, so I'm not expecting to see him much at all this year. So I'd say Jordan Marshall definitely. Daniel Travera says, do you think Michigan has to do the all-in plan like OSU is doing in order for us to keep winning? Can we start losing again and going back to Brady Hoke level bad if we don't get more aggressive on NIL? Yeah, they definitely got to do something. I wouldn't say I think you have to go all in, but you have to go all in whatever way you're trying to do it. You know what I'm saying? Whether they're trying to, have a collective, you got to be all in the collective and get as much money in that collective pot as you can. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, to me, you don't have to pay everybody. Incoming freshmen, you don't have to do that. Or you can make a certain amount for the incoming freshmen. Like, okay, we're going to pay these. We got $3 million for the incoming freshmen to divvy up, something like that, or whatever. But for some of these, if you want a more high profile 5-star dude, you might have to. That's just what I think. I think, hey, if he's a dude that you think is going to be a difference maker on defense, offense, whatever, I might throw the bag at him a little bit in that collective, but I'm going to have that money set aside in the collective for that. Okay, I got this set aside in the collective for a 5-star stud or whatever, however you want to put it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about it. You don't want to just throw money at these kids because he can get that bag and then, all right, I'm off to the next school. Get me another bag. And then I'm off to the next school. And I'm off to the next school. No, you don't want it like that. You want these dudes to come in, really want to be at Michigan, and okay, you got the bag with it. Now let's go, because you got to buy in, especially to what Michigan does. That's the culture of Michigan. Guys that want to be there that really buy into the system. You know what I'm saying? So to me, you can have your collective, but you have to be all in on it. And that means we're doing as much as we can to make this collective successful. Not, oh, we created a collective and then they're barely paying attention to it, barely getting the money in there and stuff. No, you have to be all in on it. And then whatever you're trying to do, you got to be all in on it to get the most dividends out of what you're trying to do. So now, as far as if they don't get serious in NIL, we could see a backslide. That's just real. That's just the way college football is going, because everybody's getting a bag. So you can't stick back and say, oh, we're Michigan, we don't have to pay these guys. We're Michigan, we don't do this. Well, you're gonna get left behind. So you have to, whatever you're trying to do, you're gonna have to throw some money at these dudes. Thinking you ain't gonna have to throw some money, you might as well just call it quits. You might as well expect to lose 5-6 games a year. You're gonna have to put some money aside, get a collective, however you want to do it, and understand you're going to have to pay these dudes. Now, you can say we're not going to pay incoming freshmen. Okay, well, you're going to lose out on a lot of incoming freshmen. That's a fact. So you're going to have to just accept what it is. What is college football today? College football is guys coming out of high school, getting millions, getting 500,000, getting 100,000, getting 200,000, signing with Mercedes, signing with Lamborghini, signing with Oakley or whoever, Nike, it don't matter. They're getting that money. So you have to understand the money ain't all for you no more. That's the problem. A lot of these schools, they so used to all the money is theirs. Everything is ours. We getting all the money. No, you got to share that money now. So you might as well get over it and understand you're going to have to share that money. You're going to have to share some of it. They're making you all that money. Don't get mad now. You've been making all this money for hundreds of years. Now these players getting some money. No, open that wallet up and give some of them to them. You done got enough off after all these years y'all been eating off these kids. Let's be real. So do it the right way. Understand you're at Michigan. You can get deals with all types of guys. You know, Michigan's got the strongest alumni base in business. And it shouldn't be no problem trying to get no money for these kids if I'm going to be 100. It's just, do you want to? Or are you sitting back like, man, we got to pay these guys. We got to pay these kids. Man, I remember in 97, we made so much money off Charles Woodson. You know what we gave him? Nothing, man. That's how it's supposed to be. No, that's how it used to be. How it is now is you got to open up that wallet. He making you some millions, hundreds of millions. Well, give him 5, give him 2. That's how it is now. You used to make all that money to yourself. You don't know more. Understand it and change accordingly. It's new rules, new days. Them old days, you remember back in the days? Yeah, them days over. They over. So they might as well accept it, or we will get left behind. So that's my rant about that, I guess. I got mad all of a sudden. Let's see. Joel Senek says, let's talk about us, not our rival. Now, let me stop you right there before I read the rest of your question. The reason I talk about Ohio State is because I hate them, for one. For one. And I poke at Ohio State so often because I remember the bad days. You know, we went 10 years or something without beating them. So, and we could possibly lose. Every year we could possibly lose to them. So, while this 3-year winning streak is on, I'm going to poke at Ohio State every chance I get. Every chance I get, I'm gonna poke at them. And don't get it twisted. I respect Ohio State, so I always got my eye on them. I always got my eye on them. Who they quarterback, who they running back, who they new coach. And they do the same. That's the rivalry. So I know some like, man, why you always talking about Ohio State? Hey, that's the rivalry. Crip, blood, Michigan, Ohio State. You know, but you know, hey, that's just what it is, bro. You know, so I got to jab them. I got to. Because if we lose, they gonna be on here trolling like crazy. You know what I'm saying? So I am worried all of our QBs are stiffs except for Jaden, and he is too young. Do you think Orgy can be clutch? I see him folding under the mental pressure. Thoughts? I don't know, bro. That's the known unknown, that we don't know if our quarterbacks can handle the pressure and handle what it takes to be a starting quarterback at Michigan playing all these big time games. That's the question, you know. Orgy, I'm not sure if he can. You know what I'm saying? And the big thing about quarterback is just a lot of a quarterback is heart. You know what I'm saying? It's just heart. Willing to put your body on the line and do whatever it takes to be successful. This is college. So people want to, he has to be able to throw for 300. No, he don't. I saw Vince Young beat Michigan in the Rose Bowl and then come back and beat USC in the Rose Bowl, throwing for 200 and running for 200. I've seen it done. I've seen Tim Tebow. We've seen it done a bunch of times. All we need is for this dude to maximize his abilities. What does he do well? He can run that rock, and can you throw it good enough to keep the defense honest? You know what I'm saying? That's all he has to do if he's the starter. Use his abilities. What's his abilities? He's built like a middle linebacker, can run sideline to sideline can run fast, and and hopefully he can make these throws. If he can do that, we should have something. If he can do that. You know what I'm saying? Big time third downs and things like that. I don't care how you get the first down, just get the first down. You dig? I don't care how you get it, just get it. I don't care if he throws for 10 touchdowns and runs for 18. That'll do. A touchdown is a touchdown. Now the receivers might say something. They gonna be mad. But all I need is for him to do is be able to move those chains. However, I don't care if he moves them with his leg or his arm. I don't care which one. And be able to, when we get in the red zone, get the ball in the end zone. I don't care if he do it with his legs. I don't care if he do it with his arm. Just get it in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. So that's my big thing. If he can do that, I think he can handle it. But where he will see problems, and this is if Orgy is the starter, he will see problems if he's trying to force himself to be something he's not. If he's trying to force himself to sit back in that pocket and make throws when he's got free yards right there. You built like a Mack truck. What you sitting in the pocket for? Go get them yards. You know what I'm saying? Use your abilities. I don't need you to stand back there like Cade and be checking it down all the time if you can go get 15 on your own. Ain't no point of you checking it down to Donovan. You run and make Donovan your blocker and go get me 15 yards. You know what I'm saying? So that's my biggest thing with Orgy. Be you. Don't try to be anybody else. You try to be somebody else, it's gonna mess you up. You know what I'm saying? So I think if he does that, and if he can make the throws when he has them and use his leg, I think he should be fine. But that's a big if still. Because all we've seen from him besides those runs is the spring game. And that wasn't that much, honestly. The other guys, and the other quarterbacks, Davis Warren looked pretty good in the spring game, but it's the spring game. You know what I'm saying? He didn't look good last year in the little reps we saw him, but he got hurt. He also got hurt during the year, and that's why we didn't see him anymore. But Davis Warren, He does look nice sometimes. I ain't gonna front. But those are spring games. Spring game and a real game, they two different things. And spring game and garbage time, they about the same to me almost. You know what I'm saying? As far as quarterback. Now, other positions, I can take more from from the spring game. Like running back, defensive line, offensive line. I can take a little more from them in the spring game. Secondary, receivers, I can take more from that. But the quarterback, I can't take that much from it. You know what I'm saying? Especially how Michigan does it, with the draft. It's hard to take much from a quarterback with that type of, when it's not first team versus first team, when it's not like that. So Jack Tuttle, he's gotten some hype, because he's looked good in garbage time, which I told y'all I take that with a grain of salt because it's garbage time, and he didn't look good when he started at Indiana. He really didn't too much, not really, so I don't have much faith in him. You've been around this long and you ain't been a starter yet. It's probably a reason for that. Honestly, I mean, he was behind JJ, but still, you've been around a long time. You know what I'm saying? Been around a long time. By this time, it shouldn't even be a question about Orgy or Denegal or Davis Warren. You've been around this long. It should have already been declared that you was the starter coming in. I'm gonna just keep it real. If Tuttle was what some people saying he is, and hey, that ain't to say he ain't. I'm just giving you my opinion. They might say Jack Tuttle's a starter and he might be balling. I don't know. I'm just giving my opinion. But if he was that, being the backup for what that was 2 years. Yeah, since Cade got hurt and he was done for the season, Tuttle has been the backup for 2 years. If he was that, don't you think he'd be the number one guy over Orgy and everybody else already if he was that? You get what I'm saying? The fact that he isn't, and he's hurt right now, but that don't stop them if they think you that dude, you getting injured don't stop it. They just waiting for you to get back so you can get all the first team reps. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing about Tuttle. He's been around a long time. If he was that dude and they seeing it as a backup, I don't think it would have been a question who the starter would have been. We would have already been hearing about it. So right now we're hearing about pretty much it's Orgy's job to lose. And it don't look like he gonna lose it. I'm just being real. Denegal, I don't even think that's worth talking about at this point. So that's the quarterbacks. Jaden Davis, he wants the red shirt. His family wants him the red shirt, and he's too young, and our schedule is too hard this year. A freshman quarterback, unless the team around him are studs, unless the team around him, you got seniors at receiver and tight end, and receivers and tight ends at least, with a good offensive line, that's when you can start a freshman. But with having all these young receivers and a new offensive line, you don't want to put that young dude out there. You know what I'm saying? Because he's a freshman, unless he's just supremely talented, he probably going to lose you a couple games, especially the schedule we got. And if he ain't ready, that couple games could be 5 games. I'm going to be real. You know what I'm saying? So I definitely doubt if we see him. All right. Now this question, Bruce McGraw done hit me with one of these long-winded. This video probably going to be an hour and something. So bear with me. I probably should have made a whole another video just for your questions, but hey, here we go. Here we are. Let's see. Bruce McGraw, appreciate the comment. He says, if we have to play OSU twice this year, would you have more satisfaction beating them in the shoe or losing to them if we make the playoffs the second time around or vice versa? If we have to play them twice, well, we possibly could have to play them 3 times. So I just hate I hate losing to them, and I done forgot how it feels somewhat. So if we had to lose to them, I would say in the regular season and then beat them in the playoff, because that's when it matters the most, is the playoff. You know what I'm saying? Similar to this year. Let's say well, not this year, similar to 2022. Let's say we beat Ohio State 2022, and then they made the playoff, and then let's say we both made it to the championship, which we didn't, and then they beat us in the championship. You know how horrible that would feel? Because the last win is the one that holds the weight. You know what I'm saying? Almost like you won the battle, but you lost the war. You know what I'm saying? So if we were to beat them in the regular season and then we play them in the playoff and lose, they gonna have the bragging rights. Yeah, y'all beat us 3 weeks ago. Who cares? We won yesterday. That's what's gonna matter. You know what I'm saying? So whenever we play them the last time we could play them, which would be the playoff, I'd rather win that one. I don't want to lose to them at all, because I don't want to have to hear it. Especially how I've been giving it to them. You know I don't want to hear it, but, so I want the last game possible, which would be in the playoff. What position coach do you think has underperformed? It's Ron Bellamy, the receiver. It's been Ron Bellamy. Honestly, I think he wasn't bad when he was a safety coach. I thought he got a lot out of the safeties with Brad Hawkins and was that Rod Moore? I think that was Brad Hawkins and Rod Moore, and I can't remember who the other safety was with them, but I thought he got a lot out of the safeties. He ain't got much out of the receivers, honestly. You know what I'm saying? Them dudes been, for the most part, they've been what they've been. Roman is like if you were to say, well, Roman has been a beast pretty much his whole time at Michigan. It's just Ronnie Bell left, so you needed somebody to pick up the slack. And it was, okay, Roman's here. Roman's been a beast since he started playing, pretty much. He's been a beast. It's just we don't throw that much, but Roman has been a stud. I've been calling Roman a stud and a huge deep threat and a good receiver since he's been playing. So that wasn't saying nothing. Like, to me, you didn't get that much. I can't say, that's because of Ron Bellamy. You know what I'm saying? Cornelius Johnson, I feel like you never got the best out of him fully. I feel like he made some big time catches, but you never got the full potential out of him, to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'd say Ron Bellamy, with recruits also. He's got some big time recruits, but then when they've got here, they haven't done anything. Darius Clemens. Now you got Omari and Walker back. Do something with him. Please do something with him. So definitely Ron Bellamy. What adjustments would you make to our NIL? A lot of athletes are asking for money up front, so it has to be affecting our recruiting. I touched on that earlier, so I'm just going pretty much what I said earlier about the NIL. Do your collective, but you got to be all in on the collective and get as many businesses and companies to buy into it and put that money in there. You're Michigan. We know you got it. We know you got the alumni base. Go all in and get this money for these recruits. It felt great being a champion this year, didn't it? It felt real good. So you want to keep getting that feeling, or you want to go back to being what we were? Go all in, get the money, and let's go. Okay. He says, if the NCAA delivers its notice of allegations, what would you consider a suitable sanction for our program? What do you tell the recruits, since they're using that to negatively recruit against us? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know if they, because if they send the letter, then Michigan has 60 or 90 days to respond. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure. Honestly, with recruits, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope. I'm not sure what you would tell recruits. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these dudes are scumbags in these programs, so they probably lie. They probably lie and say, man, we ain't getting sanctioned and stuff like that. Now, if you want to do that, a lot of these dudes, but I think that could rub you, that could get you hit even harder in recruiting if you just lying to these kids. I think you just got to tell them, hey, as far as you know, we're not getting hit. Because as far as we know, we're not getting hit. All that's being done is an investigation. So all I would do is say we getting a slap on the wrist. Because, hey, as far as we know, that's all we are going to get is a slap on the wrist. So that's how I would go about it. Because other programs are saying we're getting hit with the hammer. They don't know that. They're just assuming. So on our end, I'll say we're going to get a slap on the wrist. You know what I'm saying? Nothing that would kill our program or anything. So you don't have to worry about that. Because none of us know. Our rivals don't know, and we don't know for sure. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I would go about it. That's the best way you can do it. Or you can say, I don't know. Either way, it's going to hurt recruiting some, honestly. But as far as a suitable sanction, I'm not sure, bro. You got me on that one. I don't know. If Sharon Moore brings another natty to Michigan within 4 years, who would you choose among the position coaches to replace him? If he brings another natty, I don't think he's going anywhere. Honestly, I don't think he's going anywhere except to maybe Oklahoma. Maybe Oklahoma, if that. If he wins another natty, I think he's going to get so much love at Michigan, I don't think he would want to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But another position coach, I'm not really sure. Because we done got a whole new staff. So I'm not really sure who I would want as the position coaches that we have now. They all kind of new blood for the most part. Definitely not Ron Bellamy. He been around, not him. I'm not sure. I'm not sure anybody. I'm not sure I would want any of these dudes to be it would have been Mike Hart, but he left. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not sure who I would want. Or he didn't get re-signed, so I'm not sure who I want. If Mike Hart was here, I would say Mike Hart, but he ain't here. So I'm not sure. I think I'd go out of look outside of the program, honestly. But if he brought another natty, I would look for him to be at Michigan as long as he wants to be. Unless he's trying to go to the NFL. Bro, if he brings another natty while helping us win that other natty, bro, you're a legend around here. You're a legend in Michigan, so I don't see where you would want to go. You know what I'm saying? At that point, it's like, bro, you got 2 rings. Bro, you getting 2 rings is up there. One as an assistant, one as a head coach. That would put you up there. You know what I'm saying? So I would hope he wouldn't want to go anywhere. But I know he went to Oklahoma, but hey, Oklahoma ain't a better job than Michigan. It's a blue blood, so it's right along with Michigan, So I would hope he wouldn't want to go anywhere if he brought another natty. Let's see. Steve Dace has said that this year could be a repeat of 2017 season where we have a mediocre QB play but have an elite defense. We should opt to go into the portal for a QB. Do you agree or disagree, and why? Why stick with Orgy? And if he underperforms, is it Warren or Tuttle? 2017 year. I'm trying to remember that year. That's the year that we came out. We blew out Florida, and we thought it was going to be good. And then Spate got hurt, and then we had to deal with John O'Corn for most of the year. That defense was that was a good defense. That was a good defense, but if I can remember correct, what was it? Karan Higdon. Donovan's better than him. Uh, well, it's hard to say that Donovan has more talent than him. Karan Higdon had about 1,200 yards, I think, that year or something. So, but Donovan has more talent. I think the offensive line coaching is better. We'll see if our offensive line will be as good. And you got Loveland, who's a stud. And the defense, I think that this defense is better than that defense was, honestly. The system also. But you said mediocre QB play, but have an elite defense. The thing about the portal is there's nobody in the portal that's going to be a difference maker right now. Because it's not as simple as going and getting a quarterback that's a plug and play. You know what I'm saying? Especially not. People got to realize it's May. It's May. June, July, August. The end of August, the season starts. You got 3.5 months to learn the system, build a bond with your teammates and your receivers and your offensive line, your running back. It ain't enough time for no new quarterback. I'm sorry. That ship has sailed. If you wanted to get a quarterback, you needed to get him at the first portal in January. After we won the championship, you should have been trying to get a quarterback. It is too late to be trying to get a quarterback. That ship has sailed. So people thinking about the quarterback in the portal, unless you got a stud, unless some stud goes into the portal, you can forget about getting a quarterback out the portal. You can forget about that. Unless who's coming back in college? Unless Carson Beck enters the portal or something. Unless Quinn Ewers enters the portal. Somebody like that. If not, man, you can kiss that portal goodbye. For a quarterback, ain't even no point even thinking about it. It is too late. It's May. It is May already. So he has to get on campus, get acclimated to the Michigan system, and build a bond. This ain't Madden. This ain't NCAA 24 where you pick up a quarterback in June and he's starting and he's a difference maker. You got to play Texas week 2. It's too late for it. It's too late. So I'm not saying you, but like Steve Dace thinking we finna get a quarterback out the portal, boy, you can kiss that goodbye. It ain't no difference makers in the portal that you can plug and play and say, this is that dude. So if you're looking at the portal and looking at these guys that are mediocre or mid, and you looking at the quarterbacks that you got that actually know the system, you're going to pick the guys that actually know your system. Because all of them have been in the system going on 3 years now. So you're going to go with them. Because they know the system, have already built a relationship with their teammates, their offensive line, their receivers. You're going to stick with what you got. Unless you see something, okay, this is a blessing from the football gods. Ain't no blessing from the football gods in the cute quarterback portal this year. Not right now. So ain't no point in thinking about that. You got to stick with what we got. Hold what, like my pops used to say when we was doing construction and stuff, and he's telling me to hold on to something. Hold what you got. So we going to hold what we got. Orgy, Davis Warren, Tuttle. We going to hold what we got. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just how it is right now. It ain't no different. Now, if it was a difference maker in there, I would say, hey, yeah, it's late, but he's a difference maker. I ain't seeing it. Now, what was your other question? Do you agree or disagree, and why? Well, that was why I disagree. Why stick with Orgy? And if you stick with, and that's what I was saying. You stick with Orgy because he's been in the system and his potential is high. Orgy's potential is very high. From what he has. What you see his physical gifts are, his ceiling is high. They don't make quarterbacks built like Alex Orgy, 6'3", 240, and can run that fast. Now, the question mark, all our questions, can he make consistent passes? Can he be 60%? I think he possibly can. Plus, with what he's going to give you on the legs, the coaching staff looking like, I'm looking in the portal. I'm looking at this. I'm probably going to stick with this guy. He's been in my system, and he's a freak of nature. You know what I'm saying? So it's part of building that the word slips my mind, but they've built a rapport with those guys because they've been in the system. Now, if there was a stud in the portal, which there's not, that's why you stick with what you got. Hold what you got. Let's see. And if he underperforms, is it Warren or Tuttle? That's a hard one because I look at them about almost the same. I think, honestly, I'm not that big on Tuttle. I'm just going to say that first. I'm not that big on him, but that don't mean he might not be good. But I think Davis Warren's potential is higher than Tuttle's. Like if I had to pick a starter for the future, like, okay, you might start this year and next year. If Orgy wasn't that, I'd go with Davis Warren as my next pick. You know what I'm saying? I think Davis Warren's potential is higher. Like, I think Davis Warren might have the potential to actually be a stud, honestly, because before he got sick and what he had, leukemia, he was highly ranked. You know what I'm saying? So I think his potential is higher than Tuttle's. Tuttle's about at his peak. Now, we haven't seen him start in since he was at Indiana, so we don't know if his peak is actually good in real games, because he hasn't started since he was in Indiana 2 years ago. So we don't know how good Tuttle has gotten since he's been backup. But if I was to look at Davis Warren's age and what he can do, what he showed us with some of his arm talent, he can make some throws. I would pick Davis Warren if I'm trying to find that starter, But if I think I would play Davis Warren just because just for this reason. I don't want to get too long-winded, but hey, this video probably about an hour and some. Because Davis Warren, let's say Orgy's not it. Boom. We start Tuttle. Tuttle is just all right for the rest of the year. He does okay. It doesn't help you for next year. But if Orgy's not it, you put in Davis Warren, and let's say Davis Warren lights it up. Let's say Davis Warren gets the job and lights it up. Then he can come back next year. Now you got Davis Warren and you got Jaden Davis. Okay, now you got two dudes that got a lot of potential fighting for the job next year. Now you got a good problem. That's a good problem to have. But if let's say Jack Tuttle lights it up, that don't help you for next year. If he wins us a natty, I guess it wouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? We get another natty, then that's straight. But hey, if Tuttle lights it up, he's gone. Or if he plays well, he's gone. You know what I'm saying? So I would rather have the young dude light it up than, a dude that's leaving. You know what I'm saying? Because if Davis Warren or Orgy lights it up this year, they can come back, and then you got a battle between them and Jaden Davis. You got a good problem on your hands. If that makes sense. You think OSU wins it all this year? I think they got a shot, but a lot of teams going to have a shot this year with the 12-team playoff. But I think OSU, they got a good shot. It's going to depend on how good Will Howard is. It's going to depend on how good he is. in their offensive line. All their other positions is pretty much set. They got talent. They got veterans. It's going to depend on that quarterback. That quarterback and that offensive line and that play calling. The play calling also. Because you can have all those other positions, but that quarterback, he going to have to make some big time throws. And when you get to the playoff, it ain't just 2 games no more. You got to win at least 3. And if you don't, get the number 1 seed, which they probably will get a bye, you're going to have to win 4. You know what I'm saying? So that makes it a lot harder. So, and I think they're going to be I think they're going to have the pressure on them to go undefeated. So that's going to be a lot of pressure just in itself. And then when the playoff starts, okay, we made it to the playoff. Now the pressure ratchets back up again, because you really don't have to go undefeated. Of course you want to win every game, but you don't have to go undefeated anymore. It's not oh my God, it's not that anymore. But if I was to pick the field, I would pick the field. Honestly, I would, because I don't trust their quarterbacks. Who's your pick to win it all this year besides Michigan? Probably Georgia. Probably Georgia, because they've built up a pedigree of, being in the playoff. They missed it last year by, it was a close vote in that playoff committee. You know what I'm saying? So those dudes are probably hungry that they missed it by that much. You know what I'm saying? That they missed it. They hungry because they feel like they got cheated a little bit by not being put in still, even though they lost to Bama. They still say, if Georgia would have got in, we would have won. You know what I'm saying? So, them dudes is hungry. They hungry. So I pick Georgia. That's almost a safe bet. You know what I'm saying? Because Kirby Smart knows what it takes. He's been there. So I'm going to go with who's been there and knows what it takes. And they be having them dudes. Them dudes be out there and they be hidden. Kendrick Lamar or Drake? I got Kendrick. Last question. Whew. Boy, I need some water after all these questions from you, Bruce. I have a black Hellcat 2 and my car is faster than your car. Yeah, your car is faster than mine. Your car is faster than mine, bro. Man, them cars is fun though. It's fun. It is fun, and you get so many compliments on them. So many compliments. But I appreciate the questions. And he said, keep doing what you're doing, brother. Enjoy your channel. I appreciate it, bro. All right, let's keep going. I'm almost through. ES 2990 says, with all these accusations about Chip Kelly from people like Deshaun Jackson and LaShawn McCoy, do you think he will negatively affect Ohio State culture / locker room in a significant way? I wouldn't say in a significant way, but I think it has the potential to, because if you're seeing these dudes talk about him, and that stuff is everywhere. And I watched that podcast the other day, and it kind of went viral. The clips and the shorts, the short clips about it, and it has to. It has to. I don't think the Ohio State players are at first gonna. Like, oh, okay, they looking at Chip Kelly sideways, until I think it's going to put something in their mind to where they will start looking at him sideways if he's doing some of these same things, if that makes sense. If he's still doing some of these same things, and they're watching, they've seen what LaShawn and Deshaun and Vic and all those players said, yeah, they're going to be looking at him sideways like, bro, you got a problem with black players? You got a problem with black folk? They're going to be looking at him sideways like, bro, you want me to cut my hair especially this generation, because this is a totally different generation now. This, when Chip Kelly was at Philadelphia, what was that, like 10 years ago? Times have changed for real. You got dudes wearing those nappy hairstyles like crazy, wearing Florida the wicks like they do down here in Florida. You know what I'm saying? Dudes with dreads. It's more acceptable now in society. And the younger generation, they ain't going for it anyway. They gonna wear their hair like they want to. They not like my generation. The cool thing to do was have waves. Have your short haircut and you had your waves. I'm waved up. You hear me? I'm waved up. Now, this new generation, they wearing their hair however they want to. You see Judkins, he got his light brown over here in black. You know what I'm saying? So they not going for it. So it could be a wait and see. But if those players, if he's doing some of that same stuff, them players gonna be looking at him sideline like, bro, man, I'm starting to see what LaShawn and them dudes was saying, man. This dude don't mess with black folks for real. He don't like black folks for real, bro. You seen what he said to Judkins? You seen what he said to Travion? You know what I'm saying? So I think it'll put that, because if they never said this, Chip Kelly could have just been doing what he was doing, and it wouldn't have did that much. But the fact that they put this out there, which they said this stuff when this stuff was coming out of Philadelphia 10 years ago. It's just everybody forgot about it. I remember hearing about some of this stuff 10 years ago or whenever that was. It was a while ago, but I do remember hearing about it then. So they're just bringing it back up. So, if he does some of this same type of stuff, they're going to be looking at him sideways. So, and it could be a problem. So, Chip Kelly, you probably got to watch yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's college, but this ain't the same college days. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like Chip Kelly's been just killing it where he's went lately. You know what I'm saying? You just left UCLA. Get out of here. Get out of here, buddy. So I think it could. I think it's got the potential to be in a bad way, but not right now. I think they probably they seeing this stuff and probably like, man, Chip Kelly straight. Now, if he starts to do some of this stuff, they're going to be looking like, man, LaShawn and Deshaun was right. This dude, he don't like us. He don't like us. All right. We got Harry Nads. Nice name. Pause. Nice. Nice. I'm going to look at you. Harry Nads, I'm going to look at you like your grandma. Now, you should have changed that name, boy. Let's go. After watching OSU spring game, I seen more hitting at homecoming with two sorority play against each other. I'm a Buckeye fan, but I'm betting everything. Oh, that wasn't the question anyway. Whew, this is the last question, y'all. My voice is gone. My throat getting parched. I done got parched. Jack Package says, I don't have a question really, but the fact that OSU has dropped $34 million for this team is pathetic. If they do anything shy of winning a natty this year, it might be the most embarrassing season ever. And don't ever even get me started if Michigan beats them again. That's a fact. That's a fact. If they spend all this money and they don't win a natty, it's gonna be bad for them. For Ryan Day, really. When I say them, it's Ryan Day. You done spend all this money. You done got all these dudes to come back. And if they don't win the natty, it's going to be like, oh, bro, really? Really? You know what I'm saying? Especially if they lose to us. If they lose to us and don't win a natty, them your two biggest goals down the drain. You got another year of listening to me talk trash in Minister Sports chats and making little shorts and making videos laughing at y'all. Because laughing at y'all, you're going to have us trolling. Another year of trolling. You know what I'm saying? Now, if y'all win a natty, I ain't going to be able to troll y'all like I want to. It's going to put a damper on my trolling. So, but yeah. So they got to get it done. It's a lot of pressure on them. It's a lot of pressure on you. And when you got a team like this, you have to be the team culture of we're here to win a natty and get this done. Everybody has to buy in. Everybody has to be selfless. Everybody has to be selfless. No man is bigger than the team to run it, to accomplish this goal. We saw this year. You know what I'm saying? How everybody bought in with us, and it was all about the team. Our brother goes down. We got to come together. The job ain't finished. Yeah, we lost him, but we got to finish this job. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. It ain't gonna be easy for them, but it's gonna be fun to watch. It's gonna be fun to watch all together. You know what I'm saying? Unless they win a natty, that ain't gonna be fun to watch for me. Then it ain't gonna be fun. But it's gonna be fun to watch. And if they start losing here and there, it's gonna be fun to watch the meltdown. But we got our own stuff to worry about with our quarterback and our offense. But the season is getting close. It's getting close. It ain't that far away. These months are flying by. And like I said with the portal, it ain't that much time left. And it ain't enough time to get no quarterback. It ain't no savior in that portal. So Steve Deese and everybody else thinking the portal is it. Man, that portal is gone. It's over with for that portal. It's too late in the season. It's too late in the off season. This ain't Madden. This ain't a video game. That quarterback has to have time to learn the system, time to get comfortable with his teammates, with his offensive line, So we can let it go. The guys on the roster, that's one of those dudes is going to be the starter at quarterback. You can get a portal guy for any other position this late. Can't do it for quarterback. Not unless he's a stud, proven stud. But that's just is what it is. So, that's all I got for this one, y'all. I'm tired. That was a strong hour. I am fatigued. So I'll probably do another one. I'll probably drop another post for y'all to drop some more questions. Hold on. Wait a minute. I think I had one question that I forgot from the last video. Let me see. Nah, I guess not. So, yep, I guess not. So, like, share, subscribe, and as always, go blue.